All right, interesting day in the market yesterday. I'm not sure I would place the word surprised on it. Volatility means volatility. So yesterday they squeezed this up, and then now looking at the overnight price, pre-market starts here pretty soon, kind of wiped all of those gains from yesterday. So we continue to be in this snip, snap environment where you must wait for confirmation, okay? If you're going to treat this like a casino, you know that saying, there's no crying in the casino. So it's just another example of a market without directional clarity that is just bending people over that are trying to predict, right? So we remain right in the middle of the balance. Another day saying this, but it does look overnight. It looked this way yesterday, and then we opened and just got bought up the entire session. But yeah, look, it looks like we've got an overnight price right now, 678.30. So that puts us below, right at yesterday's open, basically, right at yesterday's lows. Interesting. Yeah, look, they're playing games, okay? They're playing games. The market makers are making this tough, right? But it doesn't have to be tough if you're not overexposing yourself. And I've been saying that for weeks now, and I mean it, okay? There's been some opportunities out there, surely, but we want a directional market, a trend with follow-through to really press the gas, right? And we just aren't in that world yet. Could it come here? Maybe. And as you guys know, in a correction market, first you lose the daily, then you lose the weekly, then you lose the monthly, and things get nasty. And typically we retest the prior cycle highs, okay? So that is what getting short looks like to me, is maybe on the retest if we start to crack these levels, okay? Taking profits down into the next level. So that's still the bear case there if it should play out. But, I want to talk about, I think this is becoming more and more less likely. The markets have looked pretty heavy here for a while, and it's struggling to get up through the 50. That's what I said yesterday, that, hey, look, if the markets get bought up, contrary to popular belief, right, just watch the 50. And yeah, we did get over the 50 yesterday, but we didn't close above it, and we're gapping down. So, there was nothing to do, and there was very little to do. Okay, sure, you could have name picked yesterday, and some people are doing that very well. I want to shout out someone in the community in the boot camp that is trading very well right now. You're being very strategic in your positioning, right, with the current environment that we're in, right? You're in energy stuff, some aerospace stuff, doing very well, getting the clean triggers, managing your position size, count, and risk, and you're fucking crushing it. So well done, you know who you are. As for myself, I did not add anything yesterday. I did put an order out to take off the puts on ARC. Didn't get filled, so I'm still in those, and I put an order out just above break even, and now I'm glad those didn't fill, because now I'm looking like I might want to add. We'll see, right? This is probably going to be my initial vehicle should the market crack, right? We've got a head and shoulders that cracked the trend line. It's breaking down. It's trying to push back up, but if this thing rolls, then that's going to be a nasty look, and I've already got myself positioned into it. I could consider an add back down, maybe through yesterday's low, bringing me up to a quarter size of a single unit. I am not overdoing sizing, guys. Of course, I don't anymore. But, I could consider, it's funny that aligned with the neckline. So, yeah, I could see myself considering an add, bringing that position up to a quarter size through this horizontal sign line. But the real play here is to just let it break down, come back up, retest that sign line, and this time fail it, okay? I don't want it coming back up through, but fail it and rolling, giving us a triple R to the downside. That would be ideal. I'll have eyes on that. Again, as I said, I think this is just, maybe I would just rather build this position. If the markets are going to crack and get some follow through to the downside, maybe I'll just build this position as opposed to trying to put on multiple different short positions for now, right? And then rolling back over to the SPY, just allowing this to actually break levels, like break swing lows, sell off a bit, pop back up, fail, and roll again. And I'll start initiating some SPY puts as well, very likely, or maybe some other indexes at the very least. And another name and structure, maybe better put, that looks pretty nasty is Palantir right here. I know it got its pop off of the events of the world currently. Nobody knows what Palantir does is kind of the joke, but involved in wartime, optics and operations. So anyways, look, you got a death cross here on the daily, 50 crossing over the 200, and really all we're doing is popping back up into the neckline of the, you could call this a loose head and shoulders here, right? Neckline break, popping right back up to test it. If that fails and rolls over, look out, okay? Look, just see what happens today. If we swipe yesterday's low, swipe this 675 area, that's likely to be nasty on the market. It looks like the VIX is elevated here in pre-market as well. So yeah, guys, be careful. Control your size. I want to take a look at an entry shared in chat yesterday. You gave a bit of your analysis here on just sort of the situation, the elephant in the room, the energy crisis we may find ourselves in. But yeah, look, I love this, man. You got a changing character that has confirmed, right? So I say all the time, just wait for that to happen. Wait for it to change character, confirm. So it broke out of this structural trend line, okay? Got itself back above the 200, pulled back, held it, confirmed. First triple R was right there. Look at that. It worked, and you found yourself here in the next one. So high probability trade, okay? These are going to work more often than not, is as simple as that needs to be. A beautiful trade. I just wanted to say that. You kind of asked for thoughts there or left it open for some thoughts, and this looks like it's going to work out for you, man. You're on fire, buddy. The last thing, I was sharing some emerging markets in chat, and first off, we've got Thailand here. I want to say that the Asian markets took a bit of a hit today. The U.S. market overnight is not looking too hot, so you got to control yourself. But some of these things do look pretty attractive. Here is Thailand changing character, okay, getting a pullback, possibly the first triple R. Coming out of this changing character on volume is worth watching. We've got just a straight up emerging markets ETF right here that does look attractive again. And we have this great zone, which is signaling this was a box breakout. I do remember it to be a multi-year box breakout. Look at that. You get your breakout, a shake and go with triple R trigger. The first triple R after the breakout was right here. Fantastic move. And it looks like we might trigger again. So yeah, let's see. Again, remember the environment. Remember the headline risk world we are living in currently is heightened, right? Obviously, it's an evolving situation. It's a serious situation. I'm seeing more and more about the Strait being closed and the regime in Iran saying that they would fire on any ships trying to pass. So that's not great news. I did also see, look, it's really hard to know what to believe right now, but I did also see something about a Chinese destroyer entering the waters. So not going to be great headlines if that plays out, if that is to be true. I wouldn't be so surprised. It's the second supplier that China has lost of oil in the last 90 days. So, some pretty big geopolitical stuff happening right now, guys. Keep it tight, okay? Wait for confirmation. Do yourself that favor. That's all I got to say today. Let's see. Let's see what happens in the market. If we crack, okay, we're going to be looking at some things to the downside if still waiting for confirmation. And if we find ourselves getting bought up heavily again in the next few hours going into pre-market and then market open and get ourselves over the 50, I have a list. I don't want to go through it here, but I do have a list of about 10 names that look attractive but require an attractive market. If things are really hot, then maybe I'll go live for you guys in boot camp, but not looking like that's going to be the situation. It's just not. So, guys, let's see what happens here. I'm not feeling aggressive. Not yet. Not yet. I'm feeling like we might get something here soon. I would really love to see us break out of zone this week, whether that be upside or downside. It's looking more and more like downside. So I'll keep coming. I'll keep talking through it, but we're not there just yet. So keep the wrist tight. Position count down until we are. Stay safe. Manage your risks. Let's go make some money. It's coming. I promise it's coming. I'll see you soon.